Good morning. We're back. Back for more go. Excuse me. There we go. Okay, so what are we going to start with today? I don't actually, well, first off, we need to set the, let's see. Good morning. We're back again to drink too much coffee. Spend way too much time chatting. And occasionally write some code. Okay. Let's pin that guy up there. Alright, here we go. Let's see, I think we're going to start by picking up with where we left off yesterday. I think it's the plan. And I don't remember where that was. Race condition. Big yawn. Big yawn. Alright, so this is sort of where we left off yesterday. We're doing day 20 of 2024. And we're doing it to practice Go. So yeah, that's the plan. We'll see how this goes. But first, let's eat some oranges. Excuse me. Looks like it's going to be a quiet stream this morning, huh? Good morning, I Love Lamp. How are you? Good to see you, my friend. Nice. Well, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being a member. Appreciate you. Oh, I should probably check that. That's, I forgot to do that. I think it's today or tomorrow when there's a big member drop off. I think it's tomorrow. I just need to make sure I remember to update the list. 11 a.m. might seem weird, but it's because it was a special day. Ooh, nice. Special day at school. Awesome. You get like a half day off. That's awesome. I had a different class only for me. Dude, that's awesome, dude. Well, good for you, man. We're actually, here in the States, we're getting ready for Thanksgiving break. Six, 7. Coffee. Do your job and wake up the dead. True that, man. True that. Nice, dude. Well, you know, sometimes you wake up late. It happens. I've woken up late to a lot of things. I've woken up late like hours late, like missed by a lot. It happens, man. No one's perfect. But I'm glad you still got to school on time. Yeah, I I need my coffee to kick in here. I'm gonna crush these oranges and then not gonna lie, Stream Elements is like a troll, except it sends links. Yeah, I have the timer set though for like every 5 to 10 minutes or something like that. I think they're both at 10 minutes. I like them though because I know people come and go from the stream. You know what I mean? Like viewership turns over a lot on live streams, so I like there to be something there that people can reference if they're new. I guess, and put another way, Stream Elements is an approved spammer. Oh yeah, that is annoying. Notifications are annoying in general. Although on my that's like one of the best things I've ever done for my like digital hygiene is I have no notifications on my phone. Basically like text messages are just like it. But other than that, all the other apps they don't display the red numbers on the corner of the app. They don't announce their notification. They don't do any of that. Dude, this orange was so sour. You're addicted to Discord? That's hilarious. That must take a lot of time, man. Yeah, I don't know. I'm in a few different Discords, but I just have them all muted, and I really only go there if I am curious about what's going on, which isn't very often. It could also be though an age difference thing, because I'm getting the vibes that maybe I'm like 10 years older than you, maybe 15 years older than you, so maybe I just have other things going on, you know what I mean? But yeah, that much Discord is too much for me. I hate scary games, man. Scary games are the worst. Scary movies are the worst. Hate them. Hate them. I hate the feeling of being scared, you know? That is not my jam. All right, I think I think I'm ready to lock in. All right, so where we left off yesterday with this problem is we have essentially what is a maze. It's not really even a maze, it's a track. We have what's a track because there's only one way out. Or there's no like false paths. So this is our example track. We have properly identified all the positions in our path. And now what we need to do is we need to go through each place in the path and we need to assess if there are cheats, if there are cheats, and a cheat is essentially being able to pretend like the walls aren't there. And we need to see, okay, is there a cheat at this position that saves us time? And we've basically broken this down into this algorithm. Where is it? So this is the algorithm we need to implement. So at each position, we need to first, let's say, move right 2 steps or 2 picoseconds, just however you want to think about it. And we need to figure out, okay, at this position, are we, first and foremost, is there a period here? Meaning we're back on the track. If this is true, then we need to ask the question, what is the distance? What distance are we at along the path here? So this would be like D2 compared to D1. So let's say we're at position 10 here, 10 steps along our path, and let's say our cheat takes us to 20. Then that would be a savings of 10, right? That would be a savings of 10 picoseconds. But I think we also have to subtract off the 2 for a total of 8. I think we need to take away 2. Now, why do I think that? Or a program could complete the course in 64 picoseconds. So let's look at this first cheat here. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we're at 21. And we cut over to where? We cut over to here. Where's the original? Yeah, so we're just cutting. So 2 is we're back on the track. And what position is 2 at? Well, 2 is pretty far along the track because... So this is 21. Sorry, I'm going to write this down real quick. I just want to make sure my logic's correct here. So we were at 21 in this cheat. We go to, let's see, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 9, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. Oops. My mouse has been lagging lately. This would be 43. So what is 43 minus 21? I don't know. That's why we have calculators. That's 22. And then I think we subtract off 2. Yeah, so this is a savings of 20 seconds. And then this, I think this follows the same logic. So for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or sorry, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 27. So 27 minus 13 is 14, minus 2 is 12. Okay, so I think my logic's right. So let's implement it, or let's try to implement it. So we have all the moves that we can make. And we're going to need to get our cheats by passing in our path. I think we need our grid and our path, right? So we need grid and path. Or I guess input and path. And then we're going to loop over every position in our path. And we're going to run that algorithm. So maybe we have a list or a map of cheats, and at the end of this we will return cheats. And I think in here, let's try to simplify this by saying cheat is equal to get cheat. Well, let's just inline it. Okay. So first things first. What was the first question we had in our? So we'll say if we are on the track. That's the first question we need to answer at any given position. So for each position, we're gonna for over our moves. Also, Copilot is gonna solve this for me. I need to just turn Copilot off by default, because I turn it off so much that I should just have it off by default, and I should only turn it on when I want to. Nice, you got a new PC? I'd like to get a new PC. Why is it my coffee cup wasn't heating my coffee up? All right, so for this particular move, let's run through our algorithm. So, oh shoot, you know what? I need to know what move we're on, don't I? Because some moves we need to multiply by 2. So I can't just loop over these. So how do we want to distinguish them? How do we want to call them? We have like basic moves or like I guess we would call them like straight moves. And then we'll call these like diagonal moves. I promise I went to school. I can spell, I promise. And we're basically just going to have all of those 4. So we're going to have up, left, up, right, down, left, down, right. And we need trailing commas, because who doesn't like a good trailing comma? I'm guessing, do you guys know, does the Go compiler do automatic semicolon insertion? Given how weird Go is about things that end on new lines, I'm wondering if that's the reason why. I'm gonna look that up really quick. Let's ask our good friend Gemini. Does the Go compiler do automatic semicolon insertions? Zahir, hello, good to see you, man. How are you doing? Love your, I think I told you this already, but love your profile picture, man. I love that design. Profile pictures are interesting because they're kind of like now this thing that you got to think about standing out, right? Catching people's eye in your feed, and yours definitely catches my eye, so kudos. Yes, the Go compiler absolutely performs automatic semicolon insertion, unlike languages like JavaScript where ASI can sometimes be ambiguous or guessy. Go semicolon insertion rules are strict, deterministic, and deeply integrated to the lexical analysis phase of compilation. Because of ASI, Go forces you to use the one true brace style. You cannot put the opening curly brace of a function or control structure on its own line. Ah, so that's the reason for that. Other common gotcha is the return trap. If you return a value, but put the value on the next line, Go inserts a semicolon after return, resulting in a bare return. Yeah, see, that's exactly why. See, that's why you need a trailing comma. Huh. So stupid. That's so stupid. If you're gonna do I sound so arrogant. I've never built a compiler in my life, but why make semicolons optional and then insert them after the fact and then lock your users into writing code in a very specific style so you don't fuck up the automatic insertion? Seems like an odd choice. Keyshawn, what's up, man? How are you? Zahir, I'm good, man. Good. I'm glad. I'm always glad to hear. I always wish for all of you that life is treating you well and you are getting everything you deserve in life. What's up, Keyshawn? Kurt Kennedy, the Go compiler reads the code upside down first, then executes everything procedurally. Oh, that is pretty cool. I had no idea. But I do find the automatic semicolon insertion bit kind of dumb. Gunhuz. He says, yes, Go is stupid. Go back to C#. I tell you what, I'm feeding my C# addiction by building things off stream. Because yes, I would much rather I'm enjoying Go. But man, actually working in Go has made me appreciate C# so much more as a language, just because the language and the standard library that exists in C# and .NET is just so rich and it is so expressive, and it makes tons of non-trivial things trivial, and I love that. Keyshawn, try anti-gravity. Is that the new Google editor, right? It's like a VS Code fork. I heard some people say it was kind of like a rip-off of Windsurf because they didn't buy, but they licensed Windsurf's technology, and they'd also hired like the CEO and some of Windsurf's researchers, I guess. And so some people were saying that they thought a lot of the underlying functionality. So let me ask you this, Keyshawn. Is there anything interesting about this editor beyond the AI? Or is that pretty much it? Like it's an agentic browser. Use cases. Man, the light mode is killing me though on this website. So you got your editor. You got some background agents, which they have now. They have this in VS Code. I don't really care. I don't really work this way. Code base under assistance on large complex. That might be kind of interesting. I use Copilot a lot this way, but I use Copilot on GitHub to do this a lot. Like if I don't know what's going on in a repo, I'll go to Copilot and be like, hey, can you help me get me unconfused about what's going on here? Yeah. Okay. Keyshawn, it's actually a windsurf fork and and unfinished cursor. Okay, well, I'll have to give it a try. Because I do pay for Gemini, so I'm guessing the fact that I pay for Gemini probably means that I could probably get pretty good use out of it. I'm fully getting into C# world, and I like it, man. It feels good to write good code with C#. It really does. I mean, it's C# can be very verbose, or it can be very terse. It can be very procedural, or it can be very object-oriented, or it can be very functional looking. The frameworks that they have for all the different types of applications are pretty good. I love their web API. I love their middleware pipeline that they have. Yeah, they make, in my opinion, they strike the right balance between a language and frameworks that they have a lot of batteries included functionality, but tons of ability to break out of whatever the defined pattern is and do things your own way if you want to do that. So I don't know. I think C#'s underrated. Anti-gravity is full of bugs. Well, it's new, right? I mean, all new software is full of bugs. Anti-gravity is free and have 3.0 model Gemini. Oh, that's a reason to get it in and of itself, just to get free access to AI and LLMs. Hell yeah. Hope everything is going okay. I see what you did there. And yes, everything is going okay. We're actually, this is the last day of so here in the United States we have a holiday called Thanksgiving. I'm not sure how many people in the chat are Americans, but we have a holiday here, Thanksgiving, and it's always comes around this time of year. It's always like the last Thursday in November or something like that. But you get, typically your employer will give you Thursday and the following Friday off. I took the whole week off, and then my kids are off the whole week as well, and we're having family come up this weekend. My parents, my mom and stepdad are coming to visit us this weekend, and then next week we have my wife's mom and her family. They're all coming to stay with us for like 3 or 4 days into the weekend, so it's going to be a fun full week of family time. I'm excited for it, and no work. Eggnog party for several weeks. Yeah, we're in eggnog season, man. I saw some at the store last time I was there, so yeah, people are. I'm not a big eggnog guy. I mean, I'll drink it, but yeah, this time of the year. All right. So we need to loop we need 2 loops here. There's probably a better way to do this, but I don't know what it is. And because we have 2 loops, we should probably have separate functions. So I'm gonna do cheat, get cheat. This is gonna take in the grid, the position, and the move. And I'm going to put that here as well. I'm going to put that whole line here. And I don't really know what get cheat's going to look like, so let's go down here and say func get cheat takes the grid, takes the position, takes the, what was the last thing, the move. Well, actually, hold on. We want the move. We want to calculate the position ahead of calling get sheet. And here's why. Because the whole reason we have to separate these into two different loops is because sheet position is because for the diagonal moves we don't need to apply a multiplier, but for the straight moves we do. And you're probably thinking, what the hell is he talking about? I'll explain in a second. So whenever we cheat, right, we can go here, right? We're allowed to do 2 moves during our cheat. So we can do 2 moves straight, which means whenever we do our move to get our next position, we need a multiplier of 2. But if we go diagonally, then it's just 1 up, right? So that's literally just moving diagonal once, but it's 2 movements from the person. So that's why we need 2 different. That's why we have 2 different loops, is because for this one we basically want to get the next position using just the move that we're given here, and up here we want to get the next position by doing move times 2. So do I have a next position? Yeah, I do, but this is not. That's not what I want to do here. So I'm going to say function get cheat position. What do we want? We want the position, the move, and the multiplier. I know there's so much repeated code in this solution that I need to refactor and dry up. So I guess what we have here is we have logic that's very similar to what we're doing here. Where'd it go? I've lost the get sheet position. There we go. So we have logic that looks very similar to this. So if next position dot value is a track character, This I don't think I want these checks to be here. I think I just want to do the calculation of the next position. What's up, Renee? How are you? Good to see you. Anti-Gravity has a built-in browser that can run the app and take screenshots to verify if it's doing good work and fix. Oh, that's cool. I've seen demos of Cursor doing that. That's pretty neat. Hey, what's up, Toad Sage? How are you? Good to see you, man. Good morning. Good morning, Lilo Gamer Pro. Good to see you as well, sir. Okay, so I think I'm going to return position. And I think in these cases, I'm going to return nil. Return nil. So if we're off grid, return nil. I don't think I want to do that here. I don't think I care about that. What I do care is that move multiplier. So next is always going to be position. But then we're going to do move times our multiplier times our multiplier. Yeah, I think that's right. So this should get us our next position. Now, there's now a chance that our cheat position is nil. So if our cheat position is nil, then we just want to continue. So if let's see, get cheat position. This is going to be position. This is going to be move. In this case, the multiplier is just 1. And then down here, we're going to do the same thing, but the multiplier is going to be 2. No, this is 1. And the straight moves are multiplied by 2. Now, if the cheat position is nil, we're going to continue because that's not going to be a useful move. Invalid operation, cheat position equals nil, mismatch types position, untyped nil. So do I have to type that? So I didn't know that. Toad says, what's going on? We are practicing writing Go by solving old advent of code problems. That is what's going on. So we're kind of like learning what we don't know based on what we've learned so far by actually solving problems, and then let's see. For types like integers, floats, and structs, nil is not a value. Instead, you return their respective 0 values. Okay. That's fine. I'll return an error then. If I can't do that, I'll just do error dot. Let's see. Is it errors dot new? Excuse me. Dot new. Off grid. Off grid. Oh, also I need to pass the grid in here. I guess I just have to return an empty position. position, and then down here I'll return the next position and nil. And the whole reason for that is so that I can just do this. So if air, basically, so I can do the same thing. I just I just have to pass back something else. Do this, do that. So we have if air equals nil, air equals nil, and then down here we'll do cheat position. Okay, get cheat takes a grid, takes a position. Why is it complaining though? Because it doesn't return anything yet. Declared not used, no value, used as value. Okay. Well, we are going to. So what's our cheat going to return? I think our cheat is going to return two values. It's going to return the seconds that were saved, as well as no, it's just going to return the seconds that were saved is all it needs to return. Because our cheats are going to end up being a map, which is the seconds saved and then the number of cheats that save those seconds is what we're looking for. Okay, so we have already answered the first question or the first step. So are we on the track, right? That's what we need to answer now. So we need to say, are we on the track? So I guess this is going to return an int and an error. So if position.value does not equal the track character, then we can return nil and an errors.new, not on track. Oh, we have to return 0. Okay, so that's the first thing. So if we are on the track, right, how much further along are we? So it's not a cheat. It's not really a cheat, right? If we didn't actually move down the path any further, right? So we can actually simplify this logic. There's a lot of we could I say that. There's a lot we could simplify here. So I think what we can actually do is we can pass the path here. No, not here. Here in the get cheat function. We can pass the path. Excuse me. We can pass this in. And we can say path is a map of position to int. That signature is so ugly. map of position to int. Fix Minecraft bedrock? Well, that's random. I tell you what, there's some random stuff in the chat sometimes. Next challenge, use Go to fix Minecraft. Actually, that would be more like use Go to rewrite Minecraft, wouldn't it? Sorry for not chatting much, playing Minecraft right now. Oh yeah, no worries, man. Play your Minecraft. Get your Minecraft going on, dude. Go for it. Okay, so the reason why I want to pass the path down, right, is because basically we can simplify our logic here. We can figure out if we're on the path and if we're further along the path by simply just saying cheat distance, and then we can say, okay, path, and then cheat. This is cheat position. Cheat position. So we can say cheat position like that. And then what we can do is we can say, okay, if you need to be on the path, so if okay is false, or cheat distance is less than current distance. Now, where does current distance come from? Well, we can also say error not a worthwhile error. This cheat saves no time, is basically what we're saying. Or this is not a cheat, right? Because it's really only a cheat if it saves us time. If it's a cheat and you lose time, I don't really think that's a cheat. So we have now the current distance. We need to pass that in as well. So, God, this signature is uglier than sin. I'm passing so much data around in the method signatures, which to me is a code smell. Like I've got something going on that is not ideal. Let's see. So there's our path, position. So position is our key. Yeah, position is our key, and then distance is our value. So we can pass the distance through here. Why is this complaining? Declare not. Oh, yep, because now it returns two things. So this is the cheat, and there's an error here now. So we'll need to handle that case. Now, if we get down to this place, this is where we need to calculate the savings essentially. How many picoseconds were saved here? So how do we do that? Well, I think we can use the math that we talked about earlier, where we basically say the distance of the cheat minus the current distance minus 2, so offset by the number of places we moved. So I think this just becomes a math equation here to return. So we say first we do cheat distance minus the current distance minus 2, like that. And this is complaining. I don't know why it's complaining. Not enough return. Oh, we got to return nil for error. And then now we can use that, right? This is where we've been trying to get the whole time. So if there's no error, so if there is an error, want to continue. Same thing over here. This is my logic's wrong there. So if we find an error while getting the position or while calculating the cheat, we want to continue. So if we can't get the cheat position, we continue. If we can't get the cheat, we continue. Otherwise, we're going to add this to our cheats map, right? Now, this is just a number, right? So this is the seconds that were saved, and we want to know how many cheats save us that many seconds, right? So if we go back and look at this puzzle, I know some of this is not going to make sense because you're coming into it probably like halfway through. But we're trying to get 14 cheats save 2 picoseconds. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to build up a map where the key is the number of seconds saved, and then the value is just how many ever cheats saved that many seconds. Which means in my loop, I need to say existing count. So I'll say cheats mapped, get the value of this cheat, right? So if it's there, we'll have an existing okay. We'll say if okay, then we will do cheats cheat equals existing count plus 1. Otherwise, and then we'll continue. Otherwise, we will just do cheats cheat equals 1, like that. And we need to, this is where there's some code smell here because I have the same exact thing repeated in 2 different loops. Which tells me I've gone wrong somewhere. And we need to dry this up. Okay, so we have grid. We need to pass the grid, the path, and we're calling this position. Let's just go up here. Grab that. Put that there. And then let's also go up here. Let's grab that. And let's do some, I'm going to do a little bit of renaming just so this makes a little bit more sense as I'm looking at it. Why is this complaining? Not enough arguments in call to get cheat position. Have position, move, and number, but want well, didn't I just copy that from up here though? Oh, I guess it's wrong up here too. So we want grid, position, move, multiplier. So we need the grid. Like I think we could probably consolidate the get position logic into the get cheat function. And then maybe we could consolidate yeah, I don't know. There's a way to make this better, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. I just want to see if it works right now. So I'm going to rename some of this though. So let's see, cheat savings. And then this is going to be get cheat savings. Existing count is fine. Cheat already exists. And then I'm going to do the same thing up here. Cheat savings. Call it down here, existing count, that's fine. Oh, cheat already exists, so I called it. sheet already exists. Alright, I think we're at a place now where we can run this and see what we're getting as far as our cheat list goes. So let's print our cheat list. Format.println. Actually, let's loop over the cheat list. So let's say for key value range over our cheat list, and we will format.println, no, printf, and we will say we saved blank picoseconds blank times key value. Oh, we should also put a new line on the end of this. Look at that sexy look. Continue. What? What are we talking about? Sexy looks? Multiple people are playing Minecraft this morning too. It's a jam. It's a vibe. So this says we got 11 cheats. We saved 0 picoseconds 50 times. Well, that's definitely wrong. Well, actually, no, that's not wrong. Because we're not actually applying a threshold on the savings until we get to the top of our loop. So our list should be longer than theirs. But I think our list contains their list. So let's see. So we should have 14 cheats that save 2 picoseconds. We should have 14 cheats that save 4 picoseconds. But I do not see that on our list. We should have 3. This has 1 picosecond that saves 38. Okay, so something's off because our list is not lining up with their list, obviously. Okay, so what's faulty about my logic? So we're figuring out if the grid is off position, which is fine. Hello, Nick. Enzo was a talker, it seems. What are you? Am I missing context? I don't see anyone named Enzo in the chat. Hello, NG Tontai. And there's a lot of random messages this morning. Unused parameter grid. Why is this grid? Why is it unused? Because I don't need it. Because I don't need it, I don't think. Okay, so the first thing that definitely seems off to me is this one. We saved 0 picoseconds. Well, I don't know. I don't think I want to get caught up on the ones that are in the list because or maybe I do. Maybe I do that. Maybe I do this. Maybe make this a little bit simpler on myself to debug. What if I come down here and I say threshold, time saving threshold, I pass that down, which means then here I don't need to do a check. I just need to get the number of cheats. But I do want to have the list so that I can debug. So we probably don't need the list, but the list makes it easier for me to figure out what I've done wrong. I'm also going to remove this. That's just noise now. So if we have the time savings here, time saving threshold, then we can pass that down to our get cheat savings. Here. And then in our cheat savings, we can actually just return an error if that value is not enough. So we can say time saving threshold, this is an int. And we can say, okay, we'll say savings, right? It's going to be equal to this calculation. And then we can do a check that says if savings is less than time saving threshold, we'll return 0 and an error that says below threshold. And then here we'll just return, oops, wrong way. VW, yeah, VW, savings. So now if we rerun this, we should have a lot fewer things in our list. Yeah, for bug-free code, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe for more bug-free code. Okay, so we saved 36 picoseconds once. Yep, we're looking for that. We served 38 picoseconds. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so we're all over the place. Okay, so I think I want to walk back my my earlier decision. I don't want to pass the threshold down. I want the complete list. So I want the complete list. And what I want to do is I want to sort the map. Can you sort a map in Go? Wait, is Go faster than Python? I actually don't know. I'm guessing so. I'm guessing in some cases. I mean, I'm guessing it depends on the code you write and the libraries you're using, you know? Because I know under the hood, some Python actually calls C code, like under the hood. That's how things like NumPy and Scikit and all those libraries are so speedy and fast and can do large number crunching so quickly. So I honestly would guess the context matters. But probably all things being equal, and you're only calling Python code, maybe goes probably faster on average. Renee.sort. Can you do that? Sort a map in Go. Does it have a .sort method? Sorts the slice of strings alphabetically. And that's so annoying that this is the way you... Seems like so much work to get to what you want, you know? So basically we make keys and then we loop over the map, get the keys. We basically make a list of the keys and then sort the keys and then iterate over the sorted keys. Just try it and see if it works. Well, I don't think it'll work. Where's my... Oh, shoot. I'm printing the row and column still. Okay, why is this one present? This is not present on their list. So so if I'm going based on their list, mine and their list should be identical. Since I'm returning all the cheats and they're displaying all the cheats, these two things should be identical. So there's faulty somewhere. There's definitely faulty logic somewhere, because why are we including a 0 picoseconds cheat 50 times? What has Steven done wrong? I miss Pablo. Well, Pablo already graced us with this solution, so worst case scenario, we can go and look at his. But I think he approached it differently based on what he said yesterday. It sounds like he approached it in a little bit different way than I did. So I probably would have to refactor and rewrite a lot of my solution, I would guess, to make it work. It's all in the context of the stated problem. Hold on, Kyle. EDL. What's a picosecond? So in real life, a picosecond is like smaller than a nanosecond. But in this world, picosecond is really just like one move on the grid. So you can think of every time the player takes 1 second or one step or one move down the track, 1 picosecond is elapsed. But yeah, if you want to see the full problem, you can go to day 20 of Advent of Code. Good morning, Kyle. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. How are we getting on? I'm doing very well. I've got my coffee. I'm hydrated. I'm feeling good. It's the last day of the week. Getting ready to start Thanksgiving break. There's not really anything to complain about. Um, I'm probably, I think, close to being solved on this problem. I'm off on my logic somewhere. So yeah, very exciting stuff. And I wish the same for you too, by the way, Kyle. I hope you're doing well. All right. Let's think. Let's go back to our. Let's go back to the drawing that we made. So what? To me, the number one thing that stands out is this, right? So where would we introduce this into our map? Let's hone in on that case. That seems very problematic. So let's focus on where that would have come from. So get cheat position calculates where we're going to cheat, right? So basically this function gets us this position or this position. Wherever you see a 2, that's what that function does. Is there cases? So we're already checking the case if our position takes us off our grid. If getting the cheat position takes us off our grid, we don't do anything. But are there other situations where we shouldn't do something? So if it's off grid, it's off grid. Now, there's probably a case to be made. So then in the get cheat savings, we check to see if the cheat position is in the path. And if it is in the path, then we check to see if the cheat distance is less than the current distance. Oh, maybe we want less than or equal to? There shouldn't be, the keys should all be unique in the path though. So there really shouldn't be a case where these are equal. I guess let's do some printf debugging to see if we can't understand this a little better. So let's do format dot print line, and let's say cheating from %d to %d. So we're cheating from our current distance to our cheat distance is what we're looking at here. And so somewhere along the lines, this is 0. Oh, whoops, I should have printed those on new lines. I always do that. I'm so used to printing to the console always having a new line because of using console.writeline in C# so much. cheating from 40 to 42. Oh, so there are some cheats that literally. Oh. So we should probably, I guess, avoid those, right? Like if yeah, we should probably avoid those. So if okay, or I guess we could say savings and then we could say savings, and then we could just say, hey, if savings is less than 0, less than or equal to 0, or I guess just equal to 0, we'll return 0, and we'll return savings, but we'll return an error. This is not a cheat. Man, this is so ugly. So that took care of our 0 cases, but this says we saved 2 picoseconds 59 times. We saved 14 picoseconds 2 times. And in their list, there are 14 cheats that save 2 picoseconds. So we have down, left, up, right, down, left, down, right. So for each position on the path, we're going to look at all those moves. Now, how many moves is that? Let's go back to our diagram. How many moves should that be? For any given position, how many moves should we be looking at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 potential cheats at any one place. But for some reason, I have lost my way. Man, I thought I had a really good. This is like one of those classic situations when you thought you had like a really good grip on a problem, and now you're questioning all your understanding. So somehow we're finding way too many cheats than we should. I think what we should do is we should try to hone in on one cheat example, and we should try to figure out why our code, like for example, let's hone in on this path position, or no, this path position, and let's try to figure out why or if that position, if we're evaluating cheat candidates correctly, right? I think that's what we should do to debug what I've written. Yeah, I think that's what we should do. So I'm gonna refill my coffee cup, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna figure out where Steven has gone horribly, horribly wrong in his approach to this problem. But one positive thing about this whole experience is I'm far more focused on solving the problem than I am figuring out how to do things in Go, which means I've picked up some amount of Go knowledge, which is, I think, good, which is a good indication. Heading into the real advent of code this next month, I think we'll actually be able to participate in it and have fun and not have to worry as much about the language specific things, and we can just worry about the problem solving specific things, which is good. I used to be a student, but recently graduated with a bachelor's degree in software development. I adore coding. I'm building a blockchain project. Ooh, Web3, huh? Dude, that's pretty cool. I've never done anything in the crypto space or with blockchain technology. Sounds very cool though. Would love to hear more about it. Also, I adore coding as well, so we are kindred spirits. I'm gonna run and get coffee. Totally understand if you have to go if you don't want to hang out and watch an empty chair. So if you have been here and you've been following along, I really appreciate you. If you're gonna stick around, cool. I'll be right back. Maybe you can go and get a cup of coffee too, and I'll meet you guys back here in like a couple minutes. I'm here. I'm back. Let's see, what did I miss? Let's see, what? Not Web 3. It's a simulation project. Oh, nice. Very cool. Okay, not Web 3. Victor, thanks for subbing. I appreciate it. Let's see, I chose JS and React because I want to learn these in order to try and get my first software developer job. Oh, nice, dude. Yeah. Well, you have a BS in software development, right? So, yeah, I mean, you should basically have everything you need to get a job now. Also, my other advent calendar came in the mail. It's basically a big box of coffee. It's pretty cool. I'm like a kid at show and tell. It's 25 days of different coffees. Or 24 days of different coffee. Oh my goodness, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 24 days of different coffees. I can't wait. It's gonna be so fun. All right. Big J Faith. I'm starting college in January for programming. I'm 42, been a mechanic for 20 years. Just time to change direction, kind of nervous. Dude, you're gonna kill it, man. Oh, hey, I remember you. You were in the comments of one of my shorts. You're gonna kill it, man. If you were a mechanic for 20 years, coding is gonna feel like I think it's gonna feel very familiar, right? A lot of the same skills, like how do you diagnose a problem, troubleshoot a issue. And you're probably going to find it like 10 times easier because you don't have to deal with actual physical, heavy, complicated objects. So you're going to kill it, man. I understand though being nervous, but you're going to knock it out of the park. If you want, I can share my repo. Yeah, dude, do it, man. In the Discord, there's Kyle. I don't know if you're in the Discord, Kyle, but in the Discord, there's a projects channel. Just drop your repo in there. I'd love to see it. Okay, so my path forward is, okay, so current state, for those that may be new here or haven't been following along, or maybe haven't been locked in, not that I really expect you guys to lock in. We are at a point where our algorithm is functional, but we are finding way too many savings, basically. We're finding the ones we'd expect to find, but we're also finding ones we're not expecting to find. So we need to go through and figure out why we have this mishmash hodgepodge, right? So like we found 8 picoseconds 8 times, and they have 8 picoseconds for 4 cheats. And we have 6 picoseconds 11 times, and they have 6 picoseconds 2 times. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and just focus on one specific point in our path. So we know, what do we know? We know that if we're looking at, let's just use this example right here. We know if we're looking at this spot in our path, then we know we'd expect this to be one of the cheats, right? And actually, from this spot, there should only be 2 cheats. There's a cheat going to right and a cheat going to down. To left isn't a cheat because we don't get anything. To up takes us off the grid, and then all the diagonals take us into a wall. So let's look at this specific point in our path. What's that point? That should be, let's see. This is going to be a map of, yeah, I'm in Discord. Yeah, do it, man. I'd love to see. I've never looked at Web3 code before, so this would be the first time I've ever seen Web3 code. Or not, I guess you said it's not Web3, but Bitcoin, I guess, crypto code. I've never seen that before. So, see, position. I don't know why I associate Bitcoin with Web3, but that's how my brain works. Okay, so we have a position that looks like this. So we have row, right? Row. Well, how do I add to? Let's see. Oh my goodness, my mouse is just lagging all over the place. Web3 is a term scammers use. Well, then I guess I guess I've been hanging out with too many scammers, or I've seen too many scams online or something. That makes me laugh. Let's see, go initialize map that has a key which is a struct. But there's no way to just provide that like directly in the. Okay, that's fine. I won't get hung up on it. So we'll have path. We're gonna say test position equals position, and the position we are testing. What is it? We are testing. Let's see. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is the 7th column in the first row. First row, column 7. Oh, and this has a value, don't it? Value is track character. And then this is going to be path, test position is going to be equal to what distance? So the distance we would expect here is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12? Yeah, 12. And I think I might be off on the one column. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I'm not. Right? You have 1, 2, or 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, yep. No, I'm right. So I just want to, the reason why I'm honing in on this one is because we know we should only find 2 cheats, right? We should find a cheat here. We should find a cheat here based on what we've written so far. So let's see what happens when I run this code. Oh no, it's not gonna. This is a bad idea. Okay, this is a bad idea. Hold on. It's not a bad idea, but it's gonna be problematic not having the complete path. So let's move this to a global. And let's do that. And then let's still use the complete path. But then in our code, let's just skip over, when we're getting the cheat, let's just skip over positions that aren't our test position. So if position is not our test position, we'll just continue. Go test. We saved 12 picoseconds one time. We saved 10 picoseconds one time. So we have 2 savings there. And I think that's right. So yeah, 12 seconds by cheating for the 2 moves. Yeah. And if we had cheated the other way, so if we would gone here to here, right? That's the other cheat it found. That would have been 12. That would have been 14 minus 12. Just wait. We saved 10 picoseconds one time. How did we save 10 picoseconds? 0, 1, or 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Are we going over here? Wait a minute. I think I screwed myself up when I copy and pasted. Yeah. I think I I think so. See, I have a multiplier to get the cheat position, because whenever we're moving diagonally, we only want to move once diagonally, but when we move straight, we want to move straight twice. And when I copy and pasted this, it's moving diagonally more than, yeah. So now if we rerun this code, it should just be 12, I think. Yeah, I think I think that might have been it. Let's rerun and see if our list is more what we would expect. Gosh dang, that's so frustrating. I just basically like shot my foot off with a copy pasta. Yeah, this is, I think, what we would. Yep, and it passed. Okay, so I think that, ladies and gentlemen, copying and pasting will shoot yourself in the foot. So let's try with our actual input and see if our actual input works. And how do we do that? We do that. First and foremost, we can remove our cheat list. And then we can go to our tests, and we can go to. So if you're confused at why I say copying, just to clarify this again, even more for my own brain, but the reason why I was getting more cheats than what were available was because I was actually allowing my path spot. How do I ungroup this? Ungroup. Unbind text? No, that's not what I want. I want to ungroup it. I don't know how to do that. But anyways, I was basically, instead of just going here, I was allowing my player or my person to cheat all the way over here, which obviously introduced, new cheats, right? Because there are probably places where you can move that far and land on a track. So let's copy this one, put that down here. Test solve part 1 with example input, and solve part 1 with puzzle input. And then the way I always do this with advent of code is I always just set the expected to some random number. Like I don't know what it is, but I want my test to run the problem. So we'll do input.txt, and then we need to set a new threshold of 100 instead of 20. And let's make sure we did put our input there. We did. Okay. Now we can run this, and hopefully it doesn't blow up on us. That is the one frustrating thing about advent of code, is that something can work on your example input and not work on your test. Something can work on the example input, but something cannot work in your actual puzzle input, and it can be very specific edge cases. And it can, like, I know last year I had to go through like line by line to try to figure out what the edge case I was missing was, which can be very, very frustrating. All right, moment of truth. My goodness. See what happens. Submit. Hey, we did it. Let's go. And with an hour to spare. We're not even at the end of the stream yet. Renee, I have sitting on my desk, fuck it, my final thought before making most decisions, and I stand by that. Dude, I should be dead. Have you ever seen the show not Landman, Yellowstone? There's a moment in that show. I know everyone's probably has their opinions about Yellowstone. I think it's a good show, but if you've seen it, there's this moment where one of the main characters. If you haven't seen it, there's this moment where one of the main characters rides up on a horse and is like, "Have we figured out how to get this done without like killing ourselves or breaking our necks?" And one of the other characters is like, "Best we can figure is like, fuck it." Because there's literally moments in life that are like that, where it's just like there's not a good answer, there's not a good solution. You just got to full send and figure it out as you go. Freaking laggy mouse. You know how I haven't seen it, but I was thinking of watching it next. Oh, it's so good, dude. You need to watch it. It's so good. But yeah, that moment when you said you have a thing on your desk that says "fuck it," that reminded me of that moment, because it's just classic. Like you can sit there. That's the thing with like programming, coding, life. You can sit and just obsess over what's the right approach, what's the right plan. You can have a plan for the plan for the plan, but then like at some point, you just got to go. Right? Like you got to write some code, you got to run the code, you got to see what blows up, you know what I mean? And life's the same way. At some point, you just have to go and figure it out. Like there's nothing wrong with planning, but to get stuck in that loop of like planning for the plan for the plan, it's just a bad place to be. It's very paralyzing. We don't share land here, Yellowstone. Yeah. That show has a bunch of great lines in it. A bunch of great lines. The other show that I watched recently from Taylor Sheridan is called Landman, and it has a bunch of good one-liners in it as well. A lot of good monologues. Are you guys saying Mastercard and Visas are scammers? Nice. Well, if they ever become sponsors of the stream, we're going to be in trouble. Um, nice job. Oh, nice job, Steven. GG. Thanks, Pablo. I appreciate that, man. That was kind of a tough one, and I really had it solved except for my copy and paste mistake. I was gonna say something about crypto. Oh, so here's a thought I had on crypto that's I think kind of unique. What and you guys tell me what you think about it. All right, I'm open to being torn apart. So you know how cryptocurrency originally, like one of the main goals of cryptocurrencies was this democratization and decentralization of the monetary system, right? Okay, that's kind of threatening to world powers. You know what I mean? It's kind of threatening. Monetary systems are important. However, largely the cryptocurrency community seems to have completely lost that thread, right? Because now cryptocurrency has turned into this asset. Like lots of people have gotten really wealthy by just holding on to these I'm going to call them assets. I mean, that's probably debatable, but by holding on to these assets and these assets turning into these appreciating pieces of things you hold, has sort of made these people forget that like the original thread was democratization and decentralization of the monetary system. My thought is maybe that's, as much as all these nation states say they don't like crypto, maybe they do. Maybe they're the ones behind making it a financial asset, right? So like kind of one of those like left hand, right hand things, like look over here and forget about this over here, right? So forget about being a decentralized exchange of value and just focus on getting wealthy off of holding on to these, turning these cryptocurrencies into an asset. Like maybe there's some, maybe there's actually like a long game here. Pablo, you see presidents making crypto, so clearly it's a lie. Yeah. Yeah, I don't, but the thing is like I mean, what is money? Money is a lie. Money is just fake. It's all built on trust, right? The US dollar is just built on the fact that the US has the strongest, most capable military in the history of the world, and it has the biggest, largest economy in the world, right? So it's like, it, but it's not real. It's just based on trust. It's based on the fact that the United States is going to pay their bill, right? And so crypto, in a lot of the same ways, is again, it's not really real in the sense that like it's not being used for an exchange of value, but like people have been made millionaires off of it, right? So it's like, well, I don't know. I just don't know. It's like is it partially a scam? Yes, but at the same time, a bunch of people are getting wealthy off of it. You have institutional investors putting money into cryptocurrency now. But I think it's interesting because it seems like that chain of thought, turning crypto into something that's more like a stock than a dollar bill. If countries wanted it to go one particular way, they'd much rather cryptocurrency become like a stock rather than a dollar bill, right? Like you don't you'd much rather keep control of the monetary system. Yeah, that's a scam if someone loses their money just to make someone rich. Well, I don't. Pablo, didn't you just describe every business in the world? I'm being facetious. I know what you mean, but it's like we you kind of like, I guess what you're meaning is if someone loses their money, they don't get anything in exchange for that money. Yeah. No, yeah, I get what you mean. That's why I invest in cows. Do you really invest in cows, Gun? Do you really own? Do you really run cattle? Do you have a property and run cattle and stuff? A real stock. Renee, who was the YouTuber who fought Mike Tyson? Yeah, Kyle, thank you for sharing your project, man. I appreciate that. It takes a lot of courage to share stuff you worked on, so I really appreciate when people do that. CoffeeZilla and Joe Rogan unite. Dude, CoffeeZilla's good. CoffeeZilla's channel is good. It's very good. Joe Rogan, I'm kind of on the fence on. Like, I listen to his podcast, and probably like maybe like 70-ish% of the guests I get something out of, and maybe 30% I turn it off after like the first 20 minutes. It just depends on who he's talking to. Because some of the people he talks to, I'm like, okay, uh, I'm good. But some of the people he talks to are actually very interesting, well credentialed folks. NFTs were the biggest scam we have seen in the last decade. Yeah, whatever happened to all those NFTs? What was the monkey ones? What was the name of that monkey project that everyone was paying tons and tons of money for? NFT monkeys. I don't know how we got onto crypto, but we're here. Bored apes. That's what it was. Bored apes. Now I just can't stop thinking if Gunn actually has land and runs cattle on his land. 2021, that was like peak NFT craziness. So I wonder what is a bored ape worth today? What is a bored ape worth today? Yeah, you can allow. It's currently around 21,000 as of mid-November 2025. It's all-time high with some individual apes that sold for over $1 million. Oof. I feel bad for people that took a bath who bought, if you bought this in 2023, that sucks. I don't know, I'm boring. I just keep sticking my money into the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund and move on. Gun, of course, having your own dairy suits you up for life. Milk is needed for coffee, for example. Profit. It's because of me why we were talking about blockchain. Oh, yes, that's where it all started. Yeah, it was Kyle's project. I'm not saying though, Kyle, that like anything you're working on is scammy. That I'm not trying to say that. I get Pablo's side of it. I get Pablo's side that like there's definitely a huge part of that world that's filled with people who are trying to get rich off others. But I also think there's probably some real value in the technology over there. It's kind of like LLMs, man. It's the same thing with LLMs and AI. Large language models, baller technology, but probably not as big of a deal as everybody wants us to believe. All right, what are we going to do next? So, do we do another advent of code problem or do we work on the link site? Or I have another idea. We upgrade my blog to .NET 10. Or we upgrade the blog to .NET. Maybe I'll do that later. I should probably get more reps with Go. That's probably what I should do. That would be the responsible thing to do. Do part two. Should be easy. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, we can do part two. Sorry, I kind of zoned out there for a second. Lee Z, thanks for subbing. I appreciate it. All right, part two. But I thought you said this was hard, though, Pablo. Pablo's like, do part two. It should be easy. But I thought you said it was difficult. Steven, pull it? Oh, yeah, we can pull it. I've never used the pull before. Let's see. What should we do till end of stream? More Go. Build. Or I guess that's not really right. More advent of code with Go. Build links. Build links. Build link tree. Link tree site with Go. Upgrade all the things to .NET 10. I mean, I guess we can do almost all those things. Like, doesn't necessarily. It was hard to debug. I actually finished it a couple minutes later. Okay, well, I don't know. You scared me because you made it sound like it was hard. Shoot. What did I do? There we go. 1417. More advent of Go. Oh, hold on. I'm curious to see what chat thinks. It's just 50-50. It's Pablo and Renee voting. That kills me, man. That kills me. Okay, we'll try to solve part. We'll try to solve part two, and then we can do the upgrade. The upgrade, I think, will actually be very quick. I just have to update one single line in a file and the Docker image, the Docker file that I used to build the image, and that's, I think, about it. Let's see. Test solve part two with, I guess, test solve part two with example input, I guess, is what this would be. Excuse me. Let's see. Part. I don't even know what part two is. Pablo, you go, addict. I just think it's funny that we pulled it and we had the same two people in chat were the two people that voted. All right, what's the okay, part two. The program seemed perplexed by your list of cheats. Apparently, the 2 picoseconds cheating rule was deprecated several milliseconds ago, which actually, picosecond to a millisecond's a lot, right? Picosecond is a million times shorter than milliseconds. A millisecond, right? Because 1,000 picos makes a nano, and then 1,000 nano makes a milli. The latest version of the cheating rule permits a single cheat that instead lasts at most 20 picoseconds. Now, in addition to all the cheats that were possible in just 2 seconds, many more cheats are possible. This 6 picosecond cheat saves 76 picoseconds. Because this cheat has the same start and end position as the one above, it's the same cheat, even though the path taken during the cheat is different. Cheats don't need to use all 20 picoseconds. Cheats can last any amount of time up to and including, but can still only end when the program is on a normal track. Any cheat time not used is lost. It can't be saved for another cheat later. You'll still need a list of the best cheats, but now there are even more to choose between. Here are the quantities of cheats in this example that save 50 picoseconds or more. Okay, so basically we're working with the same input, but we're going to do a threshold of 50 for the example. And we expect how many? We expect quite a few. 32, what is this value? 32, I don't know. I'll have to sum that up. Let me get my calculator out. My phone. Nano, micro, milli. Oh, so that's even, so 1,000 pico to nano, 1,000 nano to micro, and 1,000 micro to milli. So that's actually a huge order of magnitude. It was 285 for me, if I remember correctly. Okay. I'm not that I don't trust Pablo, but might as well do the check myself. Plus 39, plus 25, plus 23, plus 20, plus 19, plus 12, plus 14, plus 12. This actually sounds really hard to do. I'm not really sure how to do it. 285, yeah, you were right. 285 is what the example 285, like this. Yeah, so solve 2. We don't have that yet, so we need to implement that. So we'll just go up here, we'll say function, solve part needs to be capitalized, solve part 2. Has the same signature and everything. Int. For now, we'll just return 0. Make sure everything is happy. Go test. So solve 2-1? No, solve part 2. Go test. I know you don't trust me. We can see you fear stepping into part 2. Yeah, I don't. It sounds difficult, man. So, I mean, for the most part, it's the exact same. It's just instead of being restricted to moving 2, we can move more than that, right? So, I guess. So like the calculation is all the same. It's just we have more candidates to calculate against, right? So we have so let's just look at up down straight, right? So up down left right, all the straight moves now. Instead of just evaluating these guys, right? Why is my mouse lagging so bad? So instead of evaluating these 4, we now have to also evaluate 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So for each position, not only do we have to evaluate every move, but then we also have to take the move in number of steps out and look for cheats. And then we have to do the same thing with the diagonal, right? So if I can move 2 and that gets me here, well, if I can move 3, oh shoot, how do you do the diagonal? One, 2, 3, or you go 1, 2, 3. Thoughts on using Genie and Notepad++? I think Notepad++ is fine. This is when just looking at other path segments and calculating orthogonal distance saves the day. Oh. Oh, so what you're saying, Pablo, is basically, well, if we know all the steps on the path, then we just calculate whatever the distance are between like whatever the current place we're iterating over and the other places. And if the distance to cheat there Huh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's way simpler than this because this would be pretty like we'd have to do a lot of checks, right? Because every spot adds work. Okay, I'm not 100%, a bit late, but tuned in. Hey, what's up, 199? Yeah, no worries, man. Everyone's got lives, dude. You you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? So glad to see you here, though. We did solve a problem earlier. We solved part 1 of this problem, and now we're looking at part 2. Have my next books planned? Okay, hit me with them. What are your next books? Also, Renee, I was going to answer your question. I think Notepad++ is fine. It's older, and I'm not 100% certain why you would use it over something like VS Code, but I think it's totally fine. I don't know what Genie is, though. So that's a new one for me. Let me look that up real quick. My first introduction to Notepad++ was when I got hired at the company I work for now. It was installed on my machine by default, and I had no idea, but it looked cool, and so I gave it a try. Genie, a flyweight IDE. Genie is a powerful, I like that, flyweight, like weight classes. Excuse me. Genie is a powerful stable that provides tons of useful features. It runs on Linux, Mac OS, translated into 100 or over 40 languages. Huh, I've never heard of this. So is it cost money or is it just free? Like somebody just builds this and maintains? It's got different themes. Dude, it looks so old though. Look at that UI. Yeah, I'm curious why you would use this over VS Code. I guess just because you're comfortable with it, and that's what you want to use. That's what you want to use, which is a perfectly valid reason. Like, I've just never used it before. Is it active? Since you click the link to get here, you most likely are a developer with C or C++. Oh, it's built with C or C++. I don't have those knowledges. Oh, they still use mailing lists for development. Wow. You can fix any bug you found in the issue tracker. Oh. Okay, so here's their GitHub. Yeah, there's a lot of activity. 5 days ago, there was a commit. It's wild that there's all these projects out there on the internet that just I have no idea exist. But I appreciate chat for introducing them to me. It's a text editor, not an IDE. No, Pablo, it's a flyweight. It's a flyweight IDE. NeoVim has more features. Dude, NeoVim's pretty freaking baller. I mean, it's so much fun to edit text that way. Whenever I have to switch back over to VS Code, I'm always a little bummed because there's some stuff I just don't quite have set up correctly in NeoVim, like for doing Blazor development or Maui development, things like that. I just and the tool change is not very good in NeoVim. Let's see, 199 is going to read TCP IP Volume 1. That sounds like a very dry read. Hopefully you have some caffeine to accompany you. Algorithms in Python. That sounds good. Fluent Python sounds really good. Will take my sweet time with Python, want to be better than average before I start something new. Yeah, man, take all the time you need. I mean, get comfortable with whatever language. I mean, you don't even have to know more than one language if you don't want to, right? Like, if you just want to be an expert in that language, just do that. It's your life, man. It's your life, and the only one who has to live it is you. And so you should make decisions based on that and that alone. Other people are going to have a lot of opinions about the things you should do and how you should live your life, and it's fine to listen to them. It's fine to take it in, but at the end of the day, you should still remember that only you have to actually live your life. Let's see. I'm guessing it's this one, Fluent Python 2022. Looks good. Man, these O'Reilly books are expensive though, aren't they? God dang. $50. It's like a textbook. And there are always people that are better than you at everything you do, so just learn until you're happy with it. Yeah, I kind of agree with that sentiment, Pablo. It's like, yeah, it's just like, life is so much easier when you just kind of live in your little box, right? Just kind of stay in your world, control the things you can control, focus so much on the things you can't control. Life is better. And the more, I always notice, the more anxiety I feel, the more out of control I feel, it usually is because I'm worried about people and things that, are beyond me. I love books. The best way for me to learn, rather alongside experimenting. Hey man, I think that's awesome. Find what works for you. 100%. Find what works for you. I really enjoy Pluralsight. I really like having a subscription to Pluralsight. There's so many courses there on every different kinds of topics, and I find that particularly for doing like technology stuff, video is a good medium for me. Obviously, doing is always very, very important, but video seems to be my medium of choice recently for learning coding and programming things. And yes, I am stalling from trying to figure out how to do this problem. Okay, so Pablo this is I'm just going to talk through without Pablo giving me the answer. So Pablo, don't give me the answer. So Pablo's idea, so this was my original thought, is to take our existing algorithm and basically add another for loop and just, make a move in that direction how many ever times, right? Now, Pablo hinted, though, at the fact that, well, hey, look, you know the constraints, right? So you know what the constraints are. You have a path, right? Whoops. So you have a path made up of squares or tiles, whatever you want to call them. And at this point in your solution, you already know what that path is, right? And so let's say the path looks like this. I tell you what, for someone who copy and pastes a lot, I'm terrible at copying and pasting. So let's say you have a path like this. you know what your constraints are, right? Like, you always, or let's say when you cheat, you always must be back on the track at end of cheat, right? Which means if that's the case, you really only need to consider positions along the path, right? Like nothing else matters. And then the question becomes, given the constraints of the moves that I'm allowed, can I get to one of the pass positions that are further along, or is furthest along? Is what I'm thinking. Ahmed, hey, love your vids, man. Did you check Google Anti-Gravity? Would love to hear your thoughts on Google AI-assisted tools ecosystem. Hello, Ahmed. Good to see you. I appreciate you sharing those nice words about my videos. I don't know if they're good, but I appreciate you saying that you like them. And I'm going to keep making them because I'm having fun making them. I have not checked out Google Anti-Gravity. Actually, who was it that recommended? Keyshawn, one of my chatters earlier. I think he's gone now, but he was recommending I try it out. So I probably will. I pay for Google Gemini, but he told me Gemini's free in anti-gravity, so maybe that doesn't really matter. But I definitely will check it out. I'm not much of a... My two biggest use cases for AI in my in my workflow currently is I use tab completion in my editor. Obviously, I think a lot of us do. You know, it's kind of like IntelliSense on steroids at this point. And then I use Copilot, the chat, like the chat interface, and I use Gemini's chat interface quite a bit. And I'll usually use these to like ask questions or ask them to give me like an example implementation, or sometimes I'll use Copilot's interface to help me understand a repository. Like the other day I used it for the agent framework repository, where like I'll be like, can you explain what an executor is, right? I'll use it for stuff like that. So I don't know. I just don't know how much value I would get from anti-gravity since I don't use a lot of those agentic coding tools, right? Like I don't spin off 10 background agents that are working on 10 different features like you see all the tech Twitter bros claim. Have you guys seen those posts? Please tell me I'm not the only one that gets those in their feed, where like people give you their crazy agentic AI coding setup, and they take screenshots of like 10 or 12 I think the lights just flashed. They take screenshots of like 10 or 12 terminal windows all with like just text being scribbled out. But yeah, I'll definitely try it out. I mean, I tried out Gemini CLI, I tried out GitHub, or I tried out Copilot CLI, I tried out Claude Code. So I do think it behooves you as just a person in this world to be at least aware of these things. The only issue I have with Notepad++, I'm not happy with the macro system. So Gun, you use Notepad++, or Renee, you guys use Notepad++ full time? Well, I'm inferring one of you do. This.dev. It's so crazy that you don't have hundreds of people in here. It's a question of time before you blow up. Keep it up. This.dev. That's super kind. I don't know if I'll ever blow up, but I'm just a 32-year-old guy who's talking about code in his basement at 6 o'clock in the morning. Tech Twitter is diabolical. It is diabolical. I just think that's to just sell themselves as a 100x developer. Yeah. I think that's what they want to try to communicate. 100%. And I also think that people just eat it up right now. Like, especially folks on the business side of things, like, they just eat up, oh, you're using AI to do this? Awesome, right? Like, they just I think it's content farming. Someone left a comment on one of my videos about how like a lot of the AI or LLM assisted tooling hype is just about people farming for content, which I kind of agree. There's definitely some truth to that. Man, not only Gemini, like Jules and Stitch. I'm not sure what Jules and Stitch are, Ahmed. What are Jules and Stitch? Let's see. C Sharp, SDK, blah, 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 blah. Of course I'm using Notepad++, but mostly VS Code. Yeah, I don't use Notepad++ at all. Within my company, we forked Notepad++ and we create our own ecosystem. We did that with Eclipse too. Wow, that's cool. You guys forked these IDEs? So you could, I guess, make them your own? That's pretty baller. Very cool. 199 farming content. Yeah, it's 100. It's just it's like people who make content for a living, right? Whether it be on X or YouTube or wherever, right? They make it's like news. It's the same thing with the news cycle. It's like when your whole job is coming up with news, or your whole job is trying to generate content that people want to engage with, you just kind of find stupid stuff to post and make content around. Although I'm sure some people look at my shit and are like, this content's dumb. Why is he doing this? I use PyCharm Vim one day. Nice. I've never used PyCharm. Okay, so going back to part 2. I know we're not probably going to solve this before the end of the stream, but going back to the thinking that Pablo kind of hinted at. Let's say I'm here, right? So let's just say this is the one we're currently at. So this is current, right? And so the question is, how many cheats, right? What's the question again? How many cheats save us our threshold of time? That's basically the question, right? So here are the let's see. The rule, how many cheats would save you at least in picoseconds, right? So in could be some variable number. In our case, we're passing that in as part of our solution. So would save you at least 100 picoseconds. So assuming this is a much bigger board or a much bigger path, we just need to look from where we currently are, and we need to look at the other paths, and we need to say, is there a way that I can save in number of picoseconds? So we can almost eliminate some potential, right? Just based on distance alone. Am I thinking about this right, Pablo? So if let's say I'm on the 3rd spot in the path, and I need to save at least 2 picoseconds, even if I can cheat to here, that doesn't do me any good, right? It doesn't do me any good. So really, based on distance, I think we can eliminate some of the path potentials. Then we have to figure out if we can get to that track within the allotted 20 picoseconds. Dude, this is kind of hard. I need to use a concrete. I can't just make up a example. I need to use a concrete example. So 6 picoseconds. In addition to all the cheats that are possible too, this 6-second cheat saves us 76 picoseconds. Why does it save us 76 picoseconds? Because it takes, normally it would take how long to complete without the cheat? So it normally takes 84. If you don't cheat, it normally takes 84. So how do they get 76 here? It normally takes 84. Eighty-four. 84 minus 76 is 8. So I know, so based on what Pablo said, I know there's a clever way to do this, but I'm not sure I know how to do it. I think I can use my existing solution to solve this, but I think it will be much slower than it needs to be. Pablo, because you still travel some distance. Yeah, I still travel some distance because we can end the poll too, obviously. We made our decision a while ago. Yeah, okay, I see what you mean, Paul, because you still have to travel here, right? You still went 6 cheats, and you went from 0 to 84. So 84 minus 0 is obviously 84. 84 minus 6 is 78 minus 2. Oh, hold on, no. I'm thinking about this wrong. So we went from 0 to 82. And the difference between 84 and 82 is 2 minus 6. I gotta get my calculator out. I'm trying to work out the distance calculation. I think it's exactly the same distance calculation, isn't it? It's just now there's a variable in how much you subtract. So we went 84 minus 82 minus, no, that's wrong. So our current was 0, right? Our current was 0, so we did 82 minus 0 minus 6. Yes, okay, so yeah, so we're still doing wherever we currently were to wherever we cheat to. So we subtract the cheat position, the cheated to position from the current position. That gets us 82. Then we subtract how many spaces we cheated, which isn't 2 in this case, it's 6 because it's dynamic now. Y n minus 1 times n plus 1. It's going to be something in this range. Normal math, 80, or normal path is 84, cheat path is 8, saves 76. Oh, that's a good way to look at it. Cheat path. I never thought of it like that. Yeah, cheat path is a better way to look at it. Because basically you're saying I did this path to get there, which is a path of 8. So the delta is the difference between the normal path and the cheat path. That's a much better way to frame it. Okay, great. Now I'm trying to now I'm trying to think of how do I figure out if I'm looking at the start position in the path. How do I algorithmically figure out that I can get here without checking? Yeah, so let's say I know nothing else aside from this position and this position. How can I confirm that I can get here? Right? How do I know that this is a valid move? There's some sort of math to figure this out, right? Like I can go here, here, right? That's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's under 20 picoseconds. Or I can do this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 picoseconds, which is under 20. So I just need to know, can I get to this spot in fewer moves than 20? Which they show this right here. See, they show it again. So because this sheet has the same start and end position as the one above, it's the same cheat, even though the path taken during the cheat is different. So the path doesn't matter. It's just looking at the start of the cheat path and the end of the cheat path. Okay. So I think if we look at this like a line, right, we should be able to do some sort of math because this is just a straight line, right? So we should be able. Whoops, hold on, no, sorry, that was the wrong. I'm looking at the cheat path. So this is just a line. Whoops. And this is a line. But how do I go from the line to the... So this is... Would this be rise over run? So I know that getting here will take me 1, 2, 3, 4 moves down and 2 moves right. 2 and 4. I know I'm not making any sense. I'm just trying to like puzzle through this in my head. Cheat path doesn't need to be calculated. It's Pablo, it's not that clever. Pablo is correct, yes. The cheat basically toggles all collisions off. It has so many solving solutions. Hello, Born to Shine. Good to see you. It's not that clever, huh? Why? So then why not? That makes me feel stupid, Pablo. Yeah, it does. It basically toggles all collisions off. Yeah, so we don't really need to worry about the collisions. P.S. You already got it. I already have it? Are you what? So I have 2 points. I have 2 points. We have y1, we have x1, and we have x2, and we have y2. So these, or this value is the delta between these two guys, right? So we got x2 minus x1. So that tells us n of x, right? Number of x moves. And then y2 minus y1 tells us the number of y moves. So I guess we just need to sum these, and if the sum of these is less than 20, or I guess yes, if the sum, I'm just going to say sum is this. If this is less than 20, then it's a valid cheat, and then we just need to calculate the distance, or the savings, right? And the savings, going back to our early conversation, is just going to be d the cheat path distance, so that would be whatever the sum is. It would be the cheat path distance 84 minus the cheat path distance, right? So 84 minus s, I think. So let's use the concrete example we have here to see if that checks out. So this is 6. Well, 6 is less than 20, so that's fine. We still have to know what this is. So now we have 3 points. We have so where does the 2, that's the part that I'm having a hard understanding coming in. So this would be 84 minus 6, but we have to add 2 because there's still 2 more to go to the end to complete the whole path. And where does this 2 come from? This 2 comes from the endpoint minus the cheated 2 point. Careful when moving from right to left. Hold on, why did you say that? Pablo, it's on the screen. It's like a virtual scavenger hunt. Okay. Well, that's good. Let me screenshot this. So I don't forget what I was thinking at this moment in time. Pablo says the solution is here. This is how Advent of Code is going to go all December. I just want you guys to know that. It's not, you're not going to watch a 10x engineer solve these problems. I'm what you would call like a plotting engineer. Why do I have to be careful though? Renee, what's going on now? I'm still trying to solve part 2 to the Advent of Code day. This is day 20 of 2024. Year 2024, day 20, part 2. And I'm scribbling on the screen to make it look like I know what I'm doing, but I don't know what I'm doing. So why did he say careful moving right to left? What's the edge case I'm missing? Abdul, hello there. I notice your live streams a lot. It turns out you are a coder. Well, keep doing what you're doing. Also, I want to know what language you main in and if you are good with DSA. Well, as evidenced by my ability to solve advent of code problems, I am mid at DSA. So my main language is normally C# and TypeScript. We're currently on what you would call a side quest into Golang and Goland, which is just the Go programming language, because we're going to use that to do advent of code in 2025. And then what else? Did that answer all I think that answered all your questions. And then to sum up to just say thank you for saying that, for the encouragement to keep making content, and I appreciate that you're enjoying it. Let's see, be careful with signs in my last clue. I have a meeting now. Okay, thanks, Pablo. I appreciate you, man. Have a good meeting. Appreciate all your help. Yeah, so be careful with signs because you're saying negative. Yeah, you're basically, because we're doing negatives and since we're moving up, down, there's a directional component to this. Yeah. Gun, for solving problems, hardstyle music is great. Perhaps you need some stimulus like hardstyle to improve solving. What is hardstyle music? I've never heard that descriptor before. Hardstyle. Hardstyle is a genre of electric dance music. Yeah, no, that's not my jam. Not for coding. I need to stay calm while coding. Steven, for PC reasons, especially in the Easter realm, try to use a color other than red. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, when I draw, I can definitely do that. I think I have red, I have green, I have blue. What else do I have? Pink. I think I have a pink. Maybe pink is better. Yellow. Yellow's got to be horrible, right? Maybe yellow. I don't know. Or maybe I just need to make sure I switch to black before I start drawing. What do you mean you never heard of it? I mean, I've heard of electric dance music, but I've never heard of hardstyle. Linder said hi. Or Inder said hi. Hello, Inder. Good to see you, man. Allie the AI is here. Good to see Allie the AI. Which Allie the AI is really a human that's committed to portraying themselves as an AI on YouTube. It's all about smooth jazz. I would be, hey, if you guys are in Discord, you should put whatever music you like to code to, drop it in the coding channel, because I'll always take suggestions. I prefer though like calm, kind of relaxing music while I'm working, because like naturally I'm a pretty intense person, so like inside I feel very like, let's go, like things are not moving fast enough, like, so I kind of need like a counter stimulus to that natural default state. What's up, Artwork Studios? Also still here. I don't know why, but I feel the need to message that. Well, we thought you'd left. I'm just kidding. You don't need to message that. I'm glad you're still here, though, man. Okay, so this is the solution I think I'm going to try to implement tomorrow whenever we come back. So I think what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to have the N coordinate, the S coordinate, and I'm going to have a potential candidate position. And I'm going to look through this compared to other positions in my path. And I'm basically going to calculate the rise and the run. And I'm going to see if that is less than 20 picoseconds. So let me write this down. Where's the part 2? There you go. Write this down here. To do. Implement smart solution. AKA aka do what Pablo said. Okay, so first off, okay, so first off, what we need to do is we only need to be worried about path positions. We should calculate I don't even know what you call it. We should calculate what is rise, let's just say we should calculate the rise plus the run between a path position and another, and check to see if it is less than 20 picoseconds, right? Because that means, what that means is that we have two spots, and I can get from this spot to that spot in under the 20 that it would take to cheat. So if I can do that, those two positions create a cheat path with a specific length. The savings is then the delta between that length and the normal path length, right? So going back to their example, our cheat path length is 6, and the normal path length is 84. So that would bring us to a delta of 78. And then also the difference between the end. Yeah, I think actually it's a better way to think about this is 3 points. Right? I think that's the better way to look at this. So the savings is then the delta between that length and the normal length, and the distance from the end cheat point to the actual endpoint, right? I know that's a lot of words, but that's basically where my understanding has come to. So I think conceptually I've solved this. Programmatically I have not. So that's kind of two different things, right? It's like having an understanding of the problem that you need to solve, and then actually implementing that in code. It's like two different things, and one can be true and the other cannot, right? So you can understand the problem and what you need to do to solve it, but you cannot have it implemented in code quite yet. So basically what we do is we'd say, what's the difference, what's the distance, or what's the total distance of this cheat path, which is 6, right? 4 down, 2 over. And then we also say, okay, so then what's the path to get from this endpoint to the actual end, which is an additional 2 steps. So that turns this into 6 total. This cheat path length is, or not 6 total, 8 total. So we subtract that from the normal path, right? The normal path is, let me use a different color because of what you said. The normal path is this path. I'm going to take a screenshot of this too. It's so fun. This is so much fun. I don't know why people would want to turn all this work over to LLMs. So that's our normal path. And then we'll do our cheat path in, I don't know, what, green? Yellow? These are ugly colors. So that has a length of 8. And pink has a length of, what does pink have a length of? 84? And so it's that difference. 84 minus 8, which gives you 76. Woohoo! Okay, so I think I know how to do this. It's 7:09 though, so I probably don't have time to implement it. But I think I know what to do. Do you think AI will replace coding? I don't know. It won't replace it in my life personally. Like personally, in my personal life, I will still be writing code by hand for the foreseeable future, purely because I find this exhilarating. I know that's so nerdy, but this is so much fun. I have so much fun doing this. So I'm going to keep doing this regardless of if there's a machine that can do it better than me. I think you have to remember that a lot of this is because I have fun doing it. So it's kind of like people who still build things with their hands even though there's a machine that can probably mill the thing faster than they can, right? Um, Professionally, I don't know. Professionally, businesses might get to the point where they say there are machines or there are these LLMs or these AI technologies that are faster than you, and we're going to replace your skill and your knowledge with them. At that point, it's kind of out of my hands. It's not my business. I don't own the business. I just an employee. I just work there. And so then in order to survive in the marketplace, I'm going to have to get along to go along. Or I can switch careers and switch roles. Right? So it's like two different things. It's two different things. It's like there's coding for like your own pleasure and enjoyment, and then there's like coding professionally. And so I think we're definitely a ways off from AI replacing coders professionally completely. But is there maybe a world in the future where coding looks more like project management and supervision of more from a technical perspective? Maybe. I think I said that yesterday, where it's possible that in 20 or 30 years, a software engineer is really somebody who understands how to code, understands how to build systems, but doesn't actually do the coding themselves. They just build a punch list, they hand it off to a bunch of I don't know AIs, a bunch of AIs or a bunch of agents or whatever, and they just supervise the work. I have no idea. So that's my thought. AI is far from replacing me though. Only Copilot never. Yeah, yes, I agree. Like in 5 years, I don't think software engineering looks that much different than it does today. In 10 years, I'm wishy-washy. In 20 or 30 years, it could look much different. Allie the AI, I have a question for you. If you had to send a tiny message to the whole world, what would it be? Oh, that's tough. That reminds me of the Tim Ferriss podcast where he always asks his guests, like, if you could put a message on a billboard, like what would you put on it? What would I say? That's a tough one because I would want it to be impactful. I'm thinking. Abdul, I just figured out what you're trying to solve and couldn't come up with anything. I think I came up with the solution. I think I have the solution. I think I would probably put okay, so going back to LAAI's question, I think if I had one tiny message, it would probably be John 15:12 from the Bible, and it would probably say, my commandment to you is this: love each other as I've loved you. That would probably be my message. I think a lot of things in the world could be solved if we treated each other according to that message. Whether you believe in Christianity, whether you're a Christian yourself, I just think that message frames things in a very positive way. In a very positive way where good things happen. If you look at other human beings and you try to love them as you would want to be loved, um, or the way that Jesus Christ, if you're a Christian, like, things would be better in the world. Hey, what's up, Nathan? You came you came in at a very interesting moment in the stream. But good to see you, man. Hey, what's up, Lamp? You're back. All right, I have half a mind to try to solve this problem right now. I'm gonna try to. Okay, so it's 7:15. I'm not gonna be able to do it. I'm not gonna be able to do it. All right, guys. I'm gonna hang it up for that day. I'll come back and do this tomorrow morning real quick. But I think I have a solution that Pablo would approve of and be proud of. Let's see, how many of us are here? 34? Nice. We got a good crowd here at the end. I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me, keeping me company. Allie the AI. I just dropped a short. Yours will be coming soon. Nice. Abdul, also came across a fun problem today morning I would like you to try out. Oh yeah, sure. Abdul, if you want to join our Discord and challenge the entire Discord server. But yeah, we're always open to trying out fun problems. Kyle, thank you for the stream. Of course, man. Yeah, thank you guys for chilling with me and keeping me company. It's always nice to have people to interact with, and definitely when I'm solving problems, it's super nice to have people to I think actually I don't think it's GitHub. I think it's just GH. I think I love lamp. Sorry. I think it's just !GH. There you go. Abdul, GNOME follows a sequence of LR and F starting at 0, 0 facing north. Oh, this is the problem. I don't have time to read the problem, but if you want to join the Discord and stick the problem in Discord and then we can look at it on stream sometime, that'd be fine. All right, guys, customary wrap up. So first and foremost, if you want to interact with me or anybody in chat outside the stream, you can join our Discord. That link has been in the chat a bunch of times, but I'll put it one more time. If you're new here and you're wondering, hey, when is this guy usually live? Like you want to come back and maybe hang out some more? My schedule is 4:15 a.m. to 7 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. So it's super early morning for me, but it may not always be early morning for you. So maybe that works out. I understand like streaming that early in the day is limiting, but if you can make it, that's great. Even if it's just to pop in and say hi, I will always appreciate that. I don't really have any news to share. We're gonna keep drinking coffee. We're gonna keep writing code on stream for the foreseeable future. It's probably gonna be kind of Go-esque because we're preparing for Advent of Code on December 1st, and we're gonna do all the problems or try to do all the problems in Advent of Code using Go. So that's why we're kind of trying to practice in November to get familiar and to get up to speed with that programming language. So that's kind of what the streams will entail. I might throw in a mix of some other things just based on whatever's going on. And then as far as like shorts, I always try to keep posting shorts that are like clips of the stream. The streams are always left as VODs on the channel, so if you miss a stream, you can always go back and look and watch it if you'd want. And then my videos will be a mismatch of whatever most of my content is just whatever I'm learning or whatever I'm building at any given moment in time that I want to share. That's what I make my content around. So if you fuck with that, great. If not, no worries. I totally understand. And with that, I'll say I hope you guys are having a great Friday. And if you're headed into, if it's already Saturday for you, I hope you're having a great Saturday. And if I don't see you the next couple of mornings, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. If you're here in the United States and you're heading into your Thanksgiving break and we don't see each other until that's already passed, I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And I'll talk to you guys later. All right. Bye, Kyle. Bye, Abdul. Bye, I Love Lamp. Bye, Ali the AI. Bye, Nathan. Anybody else who's here? See you guys. Bye, chat. Bye. Bye, guys. Appreciate y'all. Have a good day.